everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about writing routines. I've talked before about my own writing routine, but I thought I would start the year giving everyone who wants to make writing a big part of their year my tips about going about setting up your own. So here we go. Number 1. Set a schedule. This might seem like the obvious one and I can also see you thinking, yeah, that's pretty clear. But let me explain a little more. You see, it's no good saying you're going to write every single day for reasons that I will get into in a moment, because unless you have a schedule, and it doesn't have to be a massive year-long one, it can be a month or a week or a few days, then you're not going to know what you need to do and when. And while for some people that's okay, they don't need everything broken down, I found that it really works when it comes to setting up a writing routine. Because this is how you train yourself to get it done, by having a schedule of when you're going to work and when you're not. I'll expand on that bit in a moment. But having a schedule also shows other people what you're trying to get done. I know a lot of writers who are working another job or are mums or have other family commitments, but having a schedule means you can say to anyone, this is my writing time and this is when it'll happen and I need to have time to do it then. I will say that I remember the days when Mixty was tiny and asking her to obey my writing time just wasn't going to happen. But as they grew up, they got used to the idea that when I'm typing, unless it's an emergency, they need to leave me be. And while that may have worked because I'm not their parent, just another adult in the house, it worked for me, and it also worked for people outside the house like my parents or friends and the like. So setting up a schedule can really help. Number 2. Plan time. This might sound a little bit like that first point, and in a way it is, but I do want to go further into what I mean by planning time. Simply put, not everyone can stick to the same schedule, because like I said, people have other commitments. So the thing to do here is to say that at some point in the day I'm going to write for X amount of time. It may not always be the word count you want, and it may not always be the time that you want, but it does all add up, even when doing, say, 30 minutes here and there is better than doing none. So try and plan time that's not linked to a specific time of the day. Like, I remember when Mixty was a toddler and getting them to bed was an act of Congress. So it wasn't possible for me to say I'll write from 7:30 to 8. I had to be somewhat flexible and tell myself I would write when I had the chance for the amount of time I had. And it did add up, and it made things a little less stressful for me. Number 3. Work out your limits. This is a big one because a lot of the time people will set goals that they have no idea if they can reach or not. While yeah, it's good to dream big, it's also going to push yourself to burnout long before you have a routine set in place. Burnout means taking time off and then coming back and trying to start from scratch. So when it comes to setting that schedule and planning that time, make sure that you have some idea of what you can manage. Whether you know you can knock out a page in half an hour, or you know that 500 words is a good number, start small and work your way up to stretching your goals. At this point, you're trying to set it up as a routine, and to do that you need to know what your limits are. I write short chapters, usually about 4 pages, and I started off setting myself the goal of writing a page a day. That turned into a chapter today, and I managed that pretty consistently, though there are still some days when I struggle. But there are also days when I managed 2 chapters, and let me tell you, I was burning out. So I know that my limit when drafting is a chapter at most a day. I can manage a couple if needed, but no more than twice a month, otherwise I will burn out. And what's the point of that? So you need to be aware of what your limits are and how to go about achieving them without setting yourself up to fail, because nobody wants that. Number 4. Create a habit. The big part of making a writing routine is creating a habit. And while the first 2 points pretty much explained how to go about doing that, I do have some more tips. If you're someone who likes a certain kind of tea when writing, make sure you have it whenever you sit down to write. If you like a certain soundtrack for your project, listen to it while you write. If you prefer ambient noises, again, listen while you write. Comfier on your couch and get more words done? Go there. Happier on the desk without distractions? Go there. You can see what I'm saying. If you make that schedule, but you also let your brain associate that routine with writing, then you'll find that the words can come so much easier. There's probably someone who can explain this better than I can, but it's basically that your brain kicks into gear knowing that when you drink that tea and put on that music, you're going to be writing, then the words will flow. It's a huge part of making a writing routine, and even when you switch things up, you'll still be able to stick to that schedule and the routine and make a new habit with the new bits and pieces. And number 5, allow for breaks. I will always include this when I talk about writing routines. I see too many people push themselves to write X amount of words every day all the time, and it's not even nano or something like that. Instead, they set it as a yearly goal. And I don't know how to be more clear. You need breaks. You need time off. You need to know that you won't be writing tomorrow. And yes, we're writers and we love writing, but your brain and body need downtime. So whenever you're making this habit, just remember that it's okay to take the day off. If you're unwell or having a tough time otherwise, it's okay to take a break. And in fact, I say that when making your plan and schedule, you include days when you will do absolutely nothing, because we all need those and it's part of the process. So there we go, those are my 5 tips for making a writing routine. I personally have started this year with my writing routine pretty solid in place. I write early in the morning and I get it out of the way and I'm done and all the rest of it. So what's your writing routine? What's something new that you're going to try and do with writing this year? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pick up Cramming Chronicles of the First Twinge, all the links for which are listed below. Thanks for watching and remember to keep writing. Bye.